Welcome to St. Crowley, home of the Undercouncil. The Delacroix live outside of town, by the way. Too frou-frou for city living.
Hammond is kind of curiously looking at Casimir, wondering what that was all about, since we've already had a discussion about no more secrets with the pack.
I wonder if... Avenger, are you familiar with Delilah's family?
In the most...
Or, I guess, better put, do they know you?
Avenger turns his head and starts licking his paw and speaks into your thoughts. Yes, her family are well acquainted with me.
Okay, I'm out of character. I'm trying to, think, should we leave Avenger behind? Like, would Avenger cause issues with their family? This is Neil again. Avenger, were there any issues between yourself and her family?
I was Delilah's familiar. There were no issues between myself and the family. Save for when Delilah forgot to clean my litter box.
Out of character. Out of character. We're not hearing this. It's just him, right?
He's only... Yes, Avenger is only broadcasting his thoughts to Neil right now.
Okay.
Like you probably did hear Neil, ask the question.
I do hear Neil talking to him. It's just I don't think I hear anything about what Avenger is saying.
Right.
I was going to interject, but in that case, I'm not hearing answers, so...
Although, based on that, I would be able to understand enough of it to say this. So, in character. Neil, what are you speaking to Avenger about?
I was trying to see if Avenger knew Delilah's family, because I'm worried about potential dangers with bringing him along with us to meet her family, or would it be a boon instead of a bane?
That is a very good question. He is different than what he was when he was with Delilah. I'm wondering if they might be able to sense that and possibly perhaps investigate it due to their nature, being so paranoid and covetous of knowledge.
Right.
That is a delicate situation.
Avenger speaks up, broadcasting his thoughts to the both of you. I don't think we should tempt fate. I will remain behind in the van.
That seems like a wise decision.
I trust you to carry out justice.
Neil smiles as he scratches Avenger behind the ears.
Any other conversation on the van ride over?
Only a joke I was going to make, but I don't want to blow out a microphone.
I'm just going to put it out there right now that if you ever fart into the microphone, you're no longer welcome here.
Also, we'll probably need to burn that microphone.
That'd be $18 someone owes me.
I will never do it. I mean, burning a microphone would be cool, but
burning most things would be cool.
Fire.
Like you do.
I think it would be hot.
Fire makes that kind of
Get
noise.
out. You're fired.
That was supposed to be fire crackling, guys. I'm sorry. Let's get back to the game.
All right.
All right. So if there's no other conversation on the van ride over, let's go ahead and transition the scene. You're pulling up outside of the...
Is this like a normal neighborhood that just happens to have a gigantic fuck-off mansion, or is there really like nothing else?
Or is this like Beverly Hills?
This is a upper middle class neighborhood that seems to have sprouted up around a huge mansion that is
in space.
Very, very out of place here. It has wings as in corridors, halls, and chambers off of the main house, yes.
But not wings as in Red Bull.
But in Spirit View, do we see wings?
No.
I'm also picturing it as a golf course because it is an upper middle class neighborhood.
The house is obviously out of place. It's huge. It looks like it could double for a sanatorium or something of that nature. There's heavy wrought iron gates out front, covered completely over in vines, and the whole place looks kind of foreboding, what with it having very old oak trees lining the driveway up to the place. It kind of gives off a plantation vibe.
Yeah, I'm kind of picturing Rosedown Plantation, like the drive up.
Yeah, it's very similar to that.
Okay.
What does Victor see whenever he looks at mages with his special, what are they, eyes?
Special eyes.
Victor sees a kind of light shining from within them
Okay.
that almost hurts to look at.
So shades don't help.
No. It's the light of their soul.
Always knew mages were full of it.
It's our first time recording, and I'm trying to manage a lot of the electronics and stuff, and my side of the table is covered between that, my character sheet, Hector's character sheet, and other shit.
The vampire book.
That is actually on my side of the table.
That counts.
There's only two sides of a table.
Okay, so we
My
pull-
side and your side.
Oh,
Oh.
damn.
Okay. So the gates are already standing open and don't appear to be on an electronic track, or a mechanical track rather, like the Delacroix family gates were. There's also no intercom system.
There's no intercom system, you said, and the gates are the gates locked?
Gates are open.
Gates are open. I kind of stop in front of the gates and, look around, look left and right. Is there like a guard booth nearby? Is there anywhere? If there's nothing, it's kind
No.
of like that rolling stop, and I just kind of slowly drive forward until I find what appears to be an acceptable parking spot.
Casimir looks around. Neil, do you see anything in your vision like you saw at Childer's house?
That requires... I can't be driving.
Fair enough.
That requires me to stop and focus.
It's possible they may have some kind of
You want me to drive?
arcane system to notify them when we arrive.
I'll do it.
I don't even know if you've ever driven in a car before, because you certainly doesn't look like you've had enough money to ever own one.
Shh. I've driven before.
Driven us bonkers.
Hector can drive.
Well, they know we're coming anyway, so
Yeah.
might as well just go on in.
I mean, I don't think there's a huge reason to do that. It's also significant resource cost as well.
I just bring it up out of character, just because I'd be curious in character, like why they would let their guard down, but knowing that, well, with Shoulder, having like the magical ward, Casimir as a character would be interested. So it's just something I figured I'd bring up for like interesting stuff.
Oh yeah, that's fine. But it's
I
since we're
just
not-
I just don't want you to think that I want to invest resources into actually doing this.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's for me it would be equivalent, I guess, to 2 vitae for you in order to do that,
Okay.
and then it could still fail. And
Right. Yeah, I'm not thinking about the mechanics of it. I'm just thinking about it from like a narrative perspective.
all right, so as Neil continues driving through the apparent driveway, does he spot any other vehicles? Does he spot any little, maybe not a parking lot, but little gravel
It
areas
looks
they
like
can pull off
there's
into?
an area off to the side that you can park in. There's a couple of other vehicles there, pretty nice vehicles, modern make. And there's also an old classic car from the late 60s or early 70s, a Charger, let's say.
As Neil, after Neil pulls up and he gets out the van, just starts walking around the car, just checking it out a little bit. He's not, a big car nut or nothing, but it looks interesting.
A voice calls to you as a man comes walking down from the house. Oh, you like classic cars, huh?
They definitely have a body lines that you don't see nowadays.
Agreed. You boys from the Undercouncil?
Yes, sir. That'll be us.
Ah, right. I'm Jeremiah Ashcroft. It's good to meet all of you. He does not offer his hand to shake.
He's not a bullfrog at all.
That's probably a good thing because I'm pretty sure Neil would not extend his hand as well. I think they're both paranoid of each other.
Victor extends his hand.
Jeremiah just stares at it uncomfortably. Jeremiah, by the way, is probably about 6 feet tall.
His voice sounded like he was kind of old.
He's in his 40s at least, and he's got graying hair. He looks pretty healthy, though. He's in good shape. He's wearing just kind of like business casual clothes with some loafers on, whatever.
Victor's still taller.
Yes, Victor is still taller.
Hammond is still shorter.
And Hammond is still shorter.
I'm not sure if you were told our purpose or not.
No, Elsa was relatively brief over the phone. She and I don't really get along too well, as I'm sure she gave you a rundown of.
Right. We have our own difficulties with Mage, with her Mage family as well.
Right.
But
werewolf haters, right?
Yeah. But speaking of Delilah, we're investigating
Delilah,
her death. We know you guys didn't necessarily part on the best terms, but we are trying to find her killer.
Out of character, I really hope they knew she was actually dead and weren't just under the impression she was missing.
Delilah. Well, I'm Delilah's uncle. Her parents have been dead for some time now.
That's a shame.
10 years. I tried to raise her like she was one of my own, but she didn't agree with the way I ran the household.
Also, Victor called Tyler on the way over here.
Good idea. Good. We completely forgot about that.
Yeah. I'm just letting you guys know I remembered.
Yeah.
So
Victor's
about
the
this
brain.
time, a low-profile, kind of nice sports car, black, comes rumbling up the driveway. It's Tyler's vehicle, as you previously did encounter it.
That must be Tyler.
Who? Jeremiah asks.
He is someone that has unique talents that we need to take advantage of, which is why we are coming to your house today. Basically, whenever Delilah was murdered,
He's a medium, basically.
yeah, he's a medium basically, and whenever Delilah was murdered, the murderer, the perpetrator, removed all ties that she had to her apartment. So it makes, as well as removing her body completely. So there's basically almost no evidence of her having ever been in that apartment.
Yes, I've been to her apartment, and even with my abilities, I couldn't detect anything of use there. Whoever did what they did, they covered it up very well.
Yes, and that's why we brought Tyler along, because he has an ability whereas as long as there is a strong tie to someone, he is able to locate it and use it to communicate with the deceased over the afterlife.
Is he a Moros? Oh, I'm sorry. That's a mage term. A necromancer, a death mage.
I don't think, not exactly. I'm not. I don't quite understand everything there is about him, but I'm sure you'll figure it out as soon as you meet him.
About this time, Tyler comes walking across the parking area towards you. Oh, hey guys. I see you made it here ahead of me.
Does Victor go and shake hands with Tyler?
Yes. Me and Tyler shake hands. What's up, man?
Tyler shakes your hand. Just taking care of business, that kind of thing.
How was it? Everything good with the restaurant?
Well, yeah, that wasn't the business I was taking care of, kid.
God damn it.
I mean, I own the place, but I don't really manage it or anything.
Okay, so then the other business.
Yeah, it's the other business. Yeah, let's just leave it there, kid. We're not going to ask any more questions.
Tyler, this is
Maybe.
Yes.
Who is this gentleman?
Tyler, this is Jeremiah. He is Delilah's uncle who helped raise her over the course since her parents passed away 10 years ago.
Yeah, Jeremiah Ashcroft. It's good to finally meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
This is Tyler Zahn. He owns Waccarelli's in downtown.
Jeremiah nods. Oh, you're that Tyler Zahn. Yes, I've also heard things about you. Jeremiah kind of looks Tyler up and down and quirks an eyebrow.
Neil kind of knows to himself, it seems like almost everyone we meet is known for something in this town.
Well, Tyler speaks up. Where are we going? What are we looking at here?
Well, we were just doing introductions, but Tyler, if I remember right, you said you need a place or a thing that has a strong tie to the person in order to speak to their ghost?
Yeah, it's called a fetter. It's all that spooky ghost shit on TV. Well, basically, ghosts are anchored to our world by what's called fetters. A person, a place, a thing that meant a lot to them in life. They've got unfinished business related to those things, strong memories, that kind of thing, right? And so what we do is we find one of those fetters, and then we call out to the ghost for contact. Okay. If there's a ghost around, I'll know it pretty much immediately. So it's not like an ordeal or anything.
So Jeremiah, is Delilah's old room still intact? Has it been?
Well, of course, Delilah's belongings are still in her room on the second floor. We kept everything just the way that she left it.
Well, I think that would probably be a good place to start, Mr. Zahn. Do you agree?
Yeah, that'd probably be the best place. Yeah, let's get this done.
So Neil turns towards Jeremiah and says, "Please lead the way, Mr. Jeremiah, Mr. Ashcroft."
Certainly. He leads you all up to the main house and in to the entryway. The house is pretty nice, and yeah, it's basically laid out like a plantation home. There's a large banister staircase in the front entry area, and things kind of branch off from there. There don't appear to be any kind of servants or anything, though. And the house seems, while not deserted, mostly quiet.
Do we see many people? Like any servants or anything, or even just normal people?
Not in the front entryway area. You hear activity throughout the house, though. Jeremiah leads you all upstairs to the second floor and then into what he refers to as the West Wing.
Hammond is, by the way, viewing things in the spirit right now just to keep an eye out for anything interesting.
In a house this big, I wonder if you got do you guys have your own personal library?
Yes, we do. It's down on the first floor.
Oh, awesome! I fancy myself an author, and I just love books. They're neat. I don't know where I'm going with this. Ignore me.
Righto.
I like boats.
Good.
I like turtles.
Let's forget this section and let's move on.
So we're walking down the hallway.
So you're walking down the hallway, and then Jeremiah turns left.
Then I turn right.
And he is just gone.
No.
And leads you a short way towards a closed door. He motions you on through. This is Delilah's old room. I've got something to attend to down on the first floor, so I'll leave you all to it. Don't worry, though. I'll know when you're done.
All right. Thank you for the help.
Goodbye.
All right, then. So let's get to it, then. Tyler takes off his jacket and rolls up his sleeves.
Do I need to close the door?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Creak. Yeah.
Tyler kind of looks around the bedroom. It basically looks like the bedroom of a teenage girl. Has a few different posters on the walls. Some
Harry Potter posters?
Sure. Yes, an actual mage from an actual mage family has Harry Potter posters.
These books are entirely inaccurate.
Pretty much.
She has pictures of the guy who played Draco Malfoy, except, without a shirt on. Calendar. Boys of Harry Potter.
They're all horribly, horribly photoshopped, but she didn't care.
Cool.
A
All
little
right.
logo in the bottom right saying DeviantArt.
Because of course it was.
All right. So we start looking around. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna be honest here, guys. This ain't looking good.
You don't really see anything. Nothing
Yeah,
that
I'm
looks like
not-
it has a connection.
I go into the closet, and then I pull out my gun.
Hector speaks up. Are you unable to find anything? Neil is kind of rummaging around the room, seeing if, out of curiosity, seeing if he can find, any of Avengers, old, flea collars or anything like that.
Hammond's going to attempt to use Echo Dream to see if he might find any or get any kind of strong emotion that might have happened here. Maybe he might be able to get pointed to something that might be useful.
A teenager having strong emotions.
Oh boy.
Well,
You're gonna have your pick.
I'm pretty sure it's going to pick the actual legitimate strong emotions and not, hormone emotions.
Is there really a
mean-
difference?
I mean, they're all pretty legitimate.
Okay, Hammond, go ahead and roll that, and we'll resolve that.
Just fucking with you, man.
Every time. Every time.
The table we play on seems to
4
have
successes.
a dice repelling power, and it just forces dice to fall on the floor no matter how hard we try to keep them on the table.
In particular, Sean's dice.
Yes.
Yes. Can confirm.
I third
Mythbusters,
that.
if you're listening, you know what to do. Come figure this shit out.
Too bad they don't do it anymore.
Same day.
I can dream.
They don't.
They don't. Show got. Yeah, show quit. It's sad.
In the arms of an angel.
I'm just going to save y'all and take the mic right now. But yes, 4 successes.
4
sing better than me.
successes. That's pretty good.
Do not touch my mic.
Okay, so Hammond, you lapse into one of your epileptic fits, and
He only had the epileptic fit whenever he saw the horrible, horrible unborn monster thing.
Right, you lapse into one of your
No, at the gate, you fell into a seizure.
your visions.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you see Delilah, basically a much younger version of Delilah than the corpse you encountered, because you've never actually seen her alive.
Never saw her body either, because I was still downstairs.
You saw it in a vision.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I saw her alive before she got her throat ripped out.
Don't forget to speak into the mic.
Right. So you see Delilah, a much younger version of Delilah, probably 14, 15 years old, storm into her room and slam her door shut. She grabs a large duffel bag from the closet and starts throwing clothes into it angrily. And she seems pretty upset about something. She's crying and muttering to herself the whole time. Eventually, she finishes stuffing things into the duffel bag, cinches up the cord, and then storms out of her room. And that's where the vision ends.
Did I see anything that might have given away what date it was?
The calendar on the wall reads October of 2010.
Oh damn! I thought we were gonna ask Hammond how big of a Harry Potter fan he was, so we could figure out which movie it had scenes of, and we could figure out which years it was from.
Oh, Lord.
I was actually going to ask if I could tell which book had recently been released.
But you said December 2010?
October.
So that's not long enough for this to have been when her parents died?
Her parents died 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be long enough then. Did I see her grab anything specific, or was it all just odds and ends?
Clothes, some basics like her toothbrush, toothpaste, basic survival necessities. She also snagged Avenger. She didn't throw him in the duffel bag, though. Just in case you were wondering.
Shirt, pants, toothbrush, cat, toothpaste, brush, comb.
Hammond's going to snap out of his vision where he just looks like he's staring off at nothing for a few moments. And he's going to look at him. Well, no, never mind. He doesn't say anything because Avenger's not with us. He'll have to ask later, but he speaks up that I saw the day that Delilah left, I believe. But it really didn't look like she grabbed anything specific, just threw some stuff in a duffel bag and left. She looked upset.
Tyler looks up from what he's doing. He's knelt down on the floor, and he's got an old doll in his hand. He opens his eyes and looks at you. Yeah, I'm not getting anything here, guys. It seems like there might have been some anchors or fetters here at one time, but same thing that happened at her apartment. Something's resolved them so that she can't... she has no ties to the material world anymore.
I didn't see that thing this time. I wonder if that means someone else is wiping out the anchors and it wasn't that the thing I saw. Out of character for everyone else, Hammond is referring to a horrible creature that he witnessed in a previous vision take Delilah's body mere moments after she was murdered, and Casimir and Neil had investigated and found her body. This creature then came out of nothing.
Quick correction. It was Hector and Casimir at the time.
Oh,
Neil,
sorry.
Hammond were still down in the vehicle.
Yes, Hector and Casimir, who had found the body. And moments after they left, this thing appeared, picked up her body, and disappeared with it. And as soon as it left, all the damage that had been done to the apartment, such as the smashed coffee table and broken door, as well as all the blood, seemed to just vanish or reverse to before it had all happened.
Neil wants to, he's going to use lore of the land, the ritual, to try to see if there is a particular enchantment in this room that maybe perhaps removed these ties to Delilah. Maybe there's something that allows someone to come in there, unbeknownst to the other mages. Something that doesn't seem to be, that from her family that was set up.
Something she or someone else may have used to slip in and out unnoticed.
Right. So she's basically looking at enchantments that are unique to this room.
Mm-hmm. This is that ability that Casimir was wanting to use earlier, right?
Yes. This seems like a much more useful thing. Much more useful time, anyway.
Okay.
So
2 successes.
So each success reveals a single rite, spiritual resonance, or other supernatural widespread effect affecting the territory that the Uratha is currently in.
Okay, so this house is under 2 kinds of wards that you can detect in any case. The first appears to be a ward that prevents basically the sense that you're getting is that it prevents someone or something from manipulating space within the domain of the ward, which you would presume means that it's impossible to teleport here.
Right.
And the other one appears to prevent those within the house from being targeted by effects that manipulate probability, i.e. curses.
I don't see any signs of any signs that someone left here. I'm trying to find a good way to word this. Cass, I did check to see what type of enchantments or wards there were in this house. I was able to find 2 of them, but neither of them seemed to have been left by someone who would have, come here, remove the fetters, and leave. In fact, there was one of the wards seems specifically based on preventing someone from just appearing here unbeknownst to anyone else.
So it seems if something was forcibly resolving any of these fetters, it's able to do them completely against the knowledge of mages.
Which is, out of character, a frightening idea to all of you.
This is very concerning. If we can't find anything here, we may end up having to resort to finding her spirit in the underworld, as Tyler said.
It couldn't potentially be her uncle that wiped the anchors from this location, at least, could it?
Tyler speaks up. I mean, anything's possible. Mages can do a lot of stuff, guys. But you would think that he would have brought that up since we kind of explained what we were doing here.
Yeah.
Unless for some reason he has reason to hide it.
Well, I mean, do you want a ghost haunting your house?
Maybe there's some spot that was still important to Delilah on this property that perhaps this individual didn't remove all our tracings from. Avenger would probably know.
I don't suspect that her uncle may have done it deliberately. It seems that, if he had any animosity that intense, he would have not preserved her room in this manner. It's likely that he probably still had some kind of affection for her.
Avenger.
He's not here.
Damn Damn it, where's he at?
He's in the van.
He's in the van.
Danger stayed in the van because of the potential questions that the Ashcroft family would ask about his metamorphosis.
Okay, then, yeah, never mind.
But while it's a possibility that he could have forcibly removed the anchors, it still seems very suspect that it might be the creature that removed the ones at her apartment.
We were warned that they were manipulative individuals.
That is true.
I do have resistance to being manipulated.
Well, unless you guys have any bright ideas,
You remember Avenger?
well, yeah, he's a talking cat.
Yeah. He is familiar with Delilah's younger days,
Yeah, he's a familiar.
and he might have some knowledge, but he's back in the van. Let's go see if he knows anything.
Maybe he'll lead us to somewhere that has some emotional significance to her.